Okay, hi guys. So we are going to talk today about making an outline for your reader's response research paper. So by now, you should have read through your sources and you should have taken notes on your sources, deciding on which facts, quotes, or statistics might make it into your research paper. You should have made a distinction between what is common knowledge and needs to be cited versus what is not common knowledge and what does not need to be cited. If you have questions on any of those steps, please refer back to our past lectures or the research paper slideshow. Okay, so if you are ready to organize your paper, you're going to make an outline according to your thesis statement, organizing each paragraph in support of your overall major argument. For this outline, you should use Roman numerals, letters, and numbers to indicate the major sections of your paper. Roman numerals, letters, and numbers are used in formal outlines, and you may be asked to do this for a future research paper in college. So that's why we are practicing with it now. You should include citations and a revised works cited sheet with your outline on the due date. You must cite from at least 2 different sources per body paragraph. The goal of a research paper is to pull from a variety of sources throughout the entire paper. Now, the only time there may be an exception to this is when you are analyzing Lord of the Flies, or if you're in honors or AP, analyzing Dubliners. If you're just doing literary analysis of one piece of literature, then you only need to quote from that piece of literature. When you get to the research part of your essay and you are including your other source material as part of your connection, you should try to include 2 different citations per body paragraph as you go. Okay, so your outline should state the thesis at the very top. It should be your refined thesis, and it should be the one that will go in your paper. Roman numeral 1 will be a full topic sentence. Just like in the last essay, the topic sentence should be an argumentative sentence that connects back to your overall argument in the thesis statement. Your first letter, capital letter A, should be a fact or a quote or a specific detail from your source. That detail should be a quote or something that is not common knowledge from your source material. After the detail, fact, or quote, you should have your citation as it will go in the research paper. This most likely will be the author's last name, or if there is no author, the title. Whatever the case may be, this citation should match up with your works cited page. Underneath, in numbers, you can include your own analysis of this fact and how it relates back to your argument. You're going to continue like this, making the Roman numeral representative of one body paragraph of your research paper. So you can have as many letters, as many numbers as you see fit, but if you have a point A, you should have a point B. If you have a number 1, you should have a number 2. And after each fact, detail, or quote that is not common knowledge, you should include your citation. Outline reminders. Show me a clear plan for the body of your paper. Include all direct quotes, statistics, and general facts from your sources. After each piece of information from a source, include the citation. You should try to have 2 citations from different sources per body paragraph, again, with the exception being if you are analyzing a piece of literature and you're reliant on textual details, you may only have quotes from that Lord of the Flies or your separate piece of literature. So literary analysis is a little bit different than research articles. Your outline should be detailed, explaining what material you plan to cite and the order of the information. I should be able to determine the logic of your argument based on the outline. Okay, as far as citations go, as you were told in the library, when there is no author, typically you cite by title. All citations in the body of your essay must match the works cited page at the end of your essay. You may use a keyword in the title if the title is very long and you have to cite by title. Please check MLA on the OWL Purdue website or on our school website if you have questions about any variations or a problem with your source and how to cite it. You can also ask Mr. Viscomi, or you can ask me in class. These are examples of ways to cite looking ahead. Wordsworth stated that romantic poetry was marked by a, quote, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Here, we have done what we normally do, where we start a sentence in our own quotes and then end it with a quotation. This is a print source, so there are page numbers. I don't need to put Wordsworth in the citation because I have mentioned the author in the lead up to the quote. Another way to do this, use this quote, would be, romantic poetry is characterized by the, quote, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Here, I do put the author's last name, as it matches up with on the works cited page, in the citations, in parentheses, because I do not mention Wordsworth in the lead up to the quote. Finally, if I choose to use a fact or a detail without directly quoting it, but paraphrasing it instead, as I did here, Wordsworth extensively explored the role of emotion in the creative process. This is a fact that is not common knowledge, so I have put it in my own words, but I still include the citation at the end. Again, I don't need the word Wordsworth in the citation because I've mentioned the author in my actual sentence leading up to the citation. Okay, looking ahead, each body paragraph as you outline them should have your topic sentence, again, that matches up with the overall thesis statement. You're going to write your paragraph, and every time you mention a piece of information or a quote or a detail that's not common knowledge, you're going to cite the source that it comes from. This citation should match up directly with the works cited page. If this citation here indicates that all information that's not common knowledge leading up to this is from Smith 6. This citation indicates that all information that came before us between Smith and this point comes from Brown 8. Then I've gone back to Smith, and then I've gone to the next source, citing by title, Titanic. So if this was a sample paragraph, I would have to indicate every single time that I mention a piece of information or a fact that's not common knowledge, I have to say where the citations, where that information comes from. You do not need two citations back to back that are the same. You can just have one citation at the end of all the information that comes from one particular source. So if there were 3 facts or statistics on Smith page 6, represented by these X's here, I would just need the one citation at the end of all 3 of those facts. Okay. So all things to keep in mind as you are outlining your paper and you're starting to move on to the drafting stage.